and we are back for another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel, and Draco Springs. Them good old Purple Springs. I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up, y'all?
It's been another week of it, Bo. It been hurricaning around here.
Yeah, that was a...
Not really.
Well, thankfully.
Thankfully.
I will say, I don't want to pick on the hurricanes too much because we've been parts of some really bad ones, and we've dusted around some, which we fortunately did this week. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be too bad, and I think it went down to a tropical storm,
yeah,
and then 50 miles offshore, I think it come back up to a
Category 1 there.
Category 1, which, it was pretty rough. I think it was 75 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour roughly winds up around South Point Marina, just a little north of Ocean Isle and Hold Beach and all that, I think. So they got it pretty bad. They did. I saw the marina. It was... Yeah,
even Cherry Grove caught a good bit of it. It tore up some stuff. Tore up pier down there at Cherry Grove, which apparently, I ain't trying to pick on the hurricanes, but apparently the pier must have been already a little weak right there, because I saw a picture of it right after it happened. The pier still had power. There were still lights on when it fell down. I said, dang.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird, but 70 mile an hour winds is pretty tough, but fortunately it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But
no.
It was kind of like the perfect storm for Cherry Grove because it was full moon.
Yep.
It was high tide at 8:45.
Yep.
And the eye was coming on shore right there.
And that's the majority of what happened with Cherry Grove, was mostly just flooding.
Yeah, it was just storm surge on top of what normally, it's probably a foot taller, a foot higher tide than normal at high tide, guessing. I mean, it wasn't a king's tide or nothing, but so it was like a perfect storm to have a lot of storm surge there. So they definitely did. And, I saw pictures of, we fished down there a good bit, right around Cherry Grove Inlet and all, and I saw pictures around the landing and all down there, and it was, that whole little inlet was flooded by.
It was rough. There. I think I might have had a leaf down in the driveway.
Yeah, I went outside one time. It was like, I don't know, we probably had 20, 30 mile an hour gusts, but it wasn't.
I'm going to tell you.
It rained.
I sat there on iRacing for a long time.
Yeah, well, it rained a little bit, but nothing like I thought we were going to get.
Yeah, they were claiming we was going to get 50, 60 mile an hour gusts and stuff. And
yeah, like 3 to 4 inches of rain, but I don't think we got that.
No.
But
which was good. I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, thankfully.
It didn't tear up too much stuff, which they said today. I didn't realize it, and I didn't even notice anything was tore up down there. But I saw on the news today they said a tornado touched down in Garden City.
Yeah,
actually, right where we went out on our fishing trip the other week.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when you go out with during a hurricane with an EF0 tornado, you really can't tell at the time by no means.
Essentially, it was a water spout apparently came in.
Right. So, but I did see the pictures of that, and it did tear them up pretty good.
Oh yeah, it did.
But yeah, thankfully, so we went out. That was on Monday.
Yeah, that was this past Monday.
That was Monday night. Yeah. So we planned us a fishing trip, Dave and myself and a couple buddies of ours, to go out in my boat. We were planning on going offshore Saturday. So this past Saturday. So we kept looking at the weather, kept looking at it. It was good. First for the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was good. And that hurricane turned, and man, it sure changed. But
the weather was still. Here it was good for the most part.
Well, it was good, just windy.
It was a little breezy.
It was windy, and the swells out in the ocean were pretty bad. So we were planning on running to 10, 15 mile reefs. So we're in that ballpark, and we got about 2 miles out, and those swells were large, and that was at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we were going out, and it was like, this isn't too bad, and it just like the little bit farther we got, the bigger they got.
Yeah, it got pretty rough.
Yeah, we don't want to get caught in nothing even rough. any more rough than this. So
right. So we came back in. We fished the jetties right there in Georgetown. Water was muddy, really, really, really muddy.
Yeah,
so fish wasn't hitting on a whole lot. We caught
God had the stingrays hitting on everything.
Well, I think we probably caught 30 stingray up throughout the day and probably 30, 40 sharks.
Yeah.
A pile of them. That's about all was biting. But we did get on some black drum. Thankfully, we got up in the North Santee River. We went up there and tried that a little bit and got caught chasing or running away from a storm. I guess the storm was chasing us. But
exactly.
We ended up having to run out to the ocean and fighting breakers, and it was a bad storm. But they had hail, actually. I saw where they had some hail in Georgetown.
Really?
While we were there. So, fortunately, we was able to get away from that. But it was an experience. We had a good time, though. We were out there for probably, 14, 15 hours. We was
a long time. We were on the water at 5 o'clock in the morning. I think we pulled out at 9 that night.
Yeah, so that was fun. We had a really good time. The weather ended up being perfect in the evening. It was real nice.
Until
we could
the
have fought
mosquitoes
them.
Came out.
Yeah, we could have fought the mosquitoes away from us and the horse flies in the morning hours. We'd have been all right. But it was fun. Try to do it again this weekend. Maybe we'll see what happens. But when you ain't racing, you fishing. That's about what we do. And we enjoy it. We was actually sitting out there listening to the start of the second ARCA race at Toledo. And rain.
Here come the rain. We
saw
saw one lap of it.
Yeah, one lap. Taylor Gray spun out, and that was it. It rained.
One lap. I messaged Derek during the rain delay they had, because they delayed them all day. They made them sit at that track all day before they finally canceled it. And I was messaging back and forth with Derek, and he's like, "Man, we weren't too good last night." He said, "But we were awesome for this first lap tonight." Or today, but it didn't work out for them. They ended up running it Sunday, and I got a little bone to pick with MAV TV and the NBC Track Pass about it. You know, Track Pass, that was one of the whole reasons I paid for it myself, and you know, I was like, yeah, well, I'll get Track Pass and watch a bunch of ARCA races, you know, some of the lower series races. They show a lot of ARCA East, West, and the ARCA Menard series. And they rain it out today, and so they take it off the schedule to show it.
Yeah, that's pretty screwed up, man.
I'm like, that's kind of messed up. Especially, you really think about it, and we talked to Derek some about it. It's messed up from the perspective, you know, as fans, yes, we want to watch it. But that's pretty whatever. That's not the big deal.
No, it don't matter about us.
The sponsors that are putting the big money on these cars, the reason they're putting money on these cars, it's not just to help them out. It helps drivers out, but it's not for that. It's to get viewership, get people to see those cars.
Well, when you have zero interaction at the racetrack now,
yeah, nobody in stands.
It is very hard, and we've talked with Derek about this, which is part of the reason why, or main reason why, they didn't run the full ARCA East tour, is because they weren't getting eyeballs. You know, it wasn't a lot of live viewership on TV or whatever. So, you know, okay, we're gonna run the ARCA Menards tour. It's gonna be on TV live. We can't have butts in the seats. We can't hand out lollipops all day long. But we can get eyeballs on the race car, that pretty yellow race car, live on TV. So I swear, yeah, like you say, man, that's like a kick in the face a little bit. You know, you push to get sponsorship on these lower tiers, on lower tier racing, and then you turn right around and take them off TV.
Yeah,
because of weather.
Yeah,
especially Track Pass. You ain't having to stop golf.
No,
you ain't having to stop.
There's not another sport other than baseball going on right now.
You ain't got to stop baseball.
No,
because it's on Track Pass.
Yeah,
it's not going on NBC, SN, or NBC or whatever.
Nope.
So I didn't really understand that either.
The only thing I don't know, I guess reason why is because they didn't want to basically a Track Pass show to be competing with the Cup race or something.
Well, I don't know, but
I don't know that, but
Well, the only thing I could figure, and I don't have anything to back it up because I don't know if they had anything else going on, but the Speed 51 guys, Dillner and all them guys, were calling the race.
Yeah.
Did they have somewhere else to go on Sunday?
No, they had last night at
I know they had last night. Right. So I don't know.
And WIR and Toledo ain't that far from each other.
Right. So I do hate it. I really do, especially, us as fans of Derek and wanting to see him perform. And
especially he got his first top 5 and we couldn't watch it.
I know it. It ain't worth a crap, man. But it is what it is. Maybe they'll figure that out. Maybe it won't rain so much the next race. Probably will. But, you know how that goes. But, hey, it is what it is. We made the best of it. We watched highlights what we could or whatever, and Derek will be on next week if everything goes as planned. So we'll kind of break those races down with him on here. I think he's going to be. I think he's preparing for Jennerstown actually this week to run this weekend.
Yep.
So we'll kind of break all those races down next week with him. Hopefully, if everything goes as planned.
Definitely so. But anyway, pretty much the weekend as we,
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We'll go back. I know. Okay, this is not racing. But
go back to fishing or whatever.
We're gonna go back to fishing, or go back to leading up to fishing. So we leave the house at 2:45 Saturday morning, which is fine with me. It's great.
Early.
We're gonna do it again this week if I can talk him into it over here. But anyway, we get rolling. With this COVID stuff going on now, there is nowhere to get breakfast from.
Yeah, now that was messed up. That was pretty messed up.
Now, we got a boat behind us, and it's 11 foot 2 inches tall, so we can't go through a drive-through, obviously. So we pull up at this 24-hour drive-through McDonald's, and it says on the sign, COVID schedule, 24-hour drive-through service available. Okay. So we pull up there, and we had to go through to the first window, and one of our buddies goes out and goes to the window. They're standing there mopping the floor. He knocks on the window, and they're just looking at us. Will not say a word. And this was what? I don't know, 4:45 maybe.
Yeah,
it was. But so anyway, they wouldn't serve us. So whatever. So we left, went to the ice house, got our bait and all that. And we're standing across the street 15 minutes later, and there's 5 cars in the drive-thru.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what?
That's the same issue that truckers are having right now. Mm-hmm. And my cousin, actually, he drives a dump truck, and he's told me I don't know how many places, they won't let you into what you call it, and then they won't let you come up to the window. They won't let you in the dining room, won't let you come up to a window. Fortunately, there's people that's noticing that, and they're being nice enough to somebody in a car, going through.
Right.
Just buying food, let them pay you back money, whatever. I mean, wasn't nobody going through while we was there, unfortunately. But it's just, I guess I understand where, to an extent, the point they're coming from. They don't want somebody walking up to the window because they can jump in the window or some crap like that.
Oh, my goodness.
But my problem is you normally have the dining room open.
Right.
They can do whatever they want in there.
It's a mess. So when we leave at 9 o'clock at night,
this was funny. I've actually got pictures. I need to post these pictures.
At 9 o'clock now. At 9 o'clock. Well, it ended up being 10 because they closed at 10.
Yeah.
Anyway, after we go to 4 different places, nowhere dining rooms open, and everywhere we go, the freaking drive-thru's closed. So we finally find Bojangles. All right, same deal. We got to walk through our buddy's got to walk through the drive-thru. Well, I go up there with him. I park the truck over there to the side, go over with him, knock on the window. They look at us. They walk away. Like, what are you doing, people? So we're the only ones there now. There's no more people in the drive-thru. We're standing in the drive-thru park thing. So finally, a manager or whatever comes up there. She recognizes we got a boat. Okay, they take our order.
They didn't want to.
They did not want to take our order because it was like 10 minets to 10, and they closed at 10.
We'd only been there for 20 minutes, trying
I even told her because everything we ordered, she said they didn't have ready. I said, well, I'll get whatever you got ready. What do you have ready?
Some chicken, just regular chicken right now.
She said, we ain't got nothing ready. Okay, all right then. So we waited.
6 minutes.
She said 6 minutes. So we waited like 26 minutes.
For sure.
And she comes to the window and says, "What y'all waiting for?" I was like, the only order
you're cooking.
I mean, it's the only order. I mean, what in the world?
I can say this. That was the hottest fast food I've ever had.
It was absolutely really hot. I mean, I think I waited to Hemingway before I could eat my hash brown things.
An hour after he left.
They were hot. But, so yeah, we finally got our deal there and I was able to roll them back. But yeah, man, it is tough with trying to find something to eat if you pull in a boat or a trailer or something.
Or, like I said, if y'all see, if any of y'all listeners out there, if y'all see a trucker or something go through these places, they have the same deal. Y'all be nice to them and say, "Hey, you want me to get your order here and I'll bring it up to you up there," or something at the end there. Yeah. Something help them out because these places, apparently, most of these fast food managers don't have a brain.
Well, it's just gotten kind of ridiculous. They take it to the extreme a little bit, but that's what everybody nowadays, you know.
Yeah. How about I don't know. I ain't gonna get all political about it, but you know, I actually work for the state of South Carolina, and now our governor put out it is law now. All restaurants, you have to be wearing a mask inside. You have to wear it walking in, go into your table, until you get your table, then you can take it off. What that's doing, I don't know. But anyway, I'm in a South Carolina state building, where I work at, in a shop now that's, 100 degrees in there or whatever. We're supposed to be wearing a mask.
Wow.
Fortunately, my foreman was like, "Look, you in your own workspace over there. Ain't nobody. Somebody comes up here, all right, keep one with you, but we ain't doing that crap. It's too hot. You can't breathe already."
It's crazy, bro. I don't understand what it's doing. Well, that's for another episode.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast.
Genre.
That's a whole nother podcast.
But anyway, so here's what it is. Man, how about that explosion in Lebanon? Did you see that?
Dude, that was bad.
That was bad. Unbelievable explosion. I heard that it was like ammonium nitrate that they had been storing for like 7 years.
Yeah, and now they're wondering, like, why were they storing it?
Yeah, why were you storing 6 million pounds of ammonium nitrate in one location? I ain't really figured that out.
I don't know either.
I mean,
and then they claimed it was fireworks beside it. So why would you store ammonium nitrate? It was in a
shipping yard. So okay,
and then a big old thing of fireworks right beside it.
Did they order a big shipping container full of fireworks?
I saw your cousin on Facebook. He said it was not.
Who? Which one?
Eric.
Oh, it was not what?
He said that was not fireworks.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He said that was a attack.
Well, who knows? It could be.
It could be.
But I can tell you right now, that was a big boom. Dude, the before and after. I mean, like the whole...
it was crazy.
There's a whole crater in the ground. It was gone. I mean, it's just... I couldn't believe it. And the shock wave that went... I can't even remember how far it was now, but I mean, dude, there was people in boats. I think I heard something or read something. There was people on a boat 60 miles away that felt it. That felt the shock. I can believe that
because I was watching I watched a video from a building that looked like, because they were kind of zoomed in, so it looked like they were way up there. It's hard to judge. They were probably a mile from it, at least, if not farther. And you see the video, and you see the shockwave coming through the buildings in that city.
It's disintegrating buildings as it's
disintegrating them as it goes through.
It's insane.
Oh my God,
that's unreal.
That was awful.
That is. I hate it for them people, and I hope it was nothing terrorist related or whatever. I hope not. I hope it was just a freak accident. I mean, it's bad enough as it is. But the retaliation, that's going to be even worse, kind of, if that's the case. So hopefully it's not. Hopefully it was just a freak accident, whatever. But I hate it for those people. I hope, I mean, ain't much you can say about it. But I hope that they don't find many more bodies, but they're constantly finding them. And I mean, people living their everyday lives in the city right there.
Yeah,
and there was absolutely zero time to do anything. I mean, to get away or to prepare or whatever, because to start with, it was just a fire. Like, whatever. Okay, it's a fire. All right.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't think to go running because you're gonna have a freaking bomb or a boom or whatever go off like that. So
that was crazy.
That was insane. It really was. But anyway, I hope the best for them. I hope they can recover as quickly as possible. Whatever. But
yeah. Speaking of other bad news, while we're on here, track owner I was talking about last week, Charlie Powell, who owned Florence Motor Speedway for years and years and years and years and years and years, and before that he owned Somerville Speedway, and he was a racer himself. His sons are both racers and stuff. This past Saturday, we said he was bad off, and he actually died Saturday. I think it was Saturday morning and stuff. So say a prayer for his family. They actually had his funeral today. He was a whether you liked him or not, a lot of people didn't agree with the way he run the track, but they were there every week anyway. And but regardless, he was a staple in our local racing community. And there's a lot of people raced at that track. A lot of people raced under him. A lot of people raced with his sons. Even Dale Earnhardt Jr. raced a lot over there with him. And a lot of them guys, well, even Dale Earnhardt, they got pictures racing at Somerville Speedway back in the day. And so y'all be thinking about that family. So
yeah, definitely. I hate that went on, and I hate it. It happened so fast, man. He just getting out of the.
Literally ran his last race July 4th.
Yeah, and I mean he just getting out of that, and selling the team or selling the racetrack off. Hopefully, being able to enjoy himself a little bit, enjoy his later years in his life, and now that's gone. So I really do hate that. I wish nothing but the best for his family for sure.
Definitely so. Well, on to some lighter notes. Let's go to some racing action. Yeah. I guess we'll talk about a little bit of loudness. We'll go back to some NASCAR. Actually, we ain't talked about NASCAR in a long time, but I wanna commend NBC for exactly what we talked about on here. What the reason we weren't talking about it. NBC, to me, in my opinion, because I turn on the race Sunday, and I was like, if I start hearing anything all political and all that BS, I'm turning it off. They didn't. They talked about racing and what was going on with racing. So I am so glad to hear that. As long as they do that, I don't have a problem watching it, covering it, everything else. And it's mainly the Cup Series. Like I said, I mean, ARCA is associated with NASCAR now and all that stuff. You never hear that problem. They talk about racing on there. Yeah.
And that's what we said in the beginning. If they wanted to get away from racing, we was going to get away from them. And like you say, NBC is doing a good job of honing back in to what everybody wants to see and hear and cover. So I'm glad that they are doing that. As far as NASCAR goes, what they brought to New Hampshire, from what I saw, was a really good package.
It really was. Was.
It put on some real good racing. I love that little 2-inch tall spoiler or whatever it is. I mean, it really makes for some good racing. It's not, and I know it's short track. I know that, but even so, even at short tracks, they were getting to where Martinsville was aero dependent.
Oh yeah,
majorly. So seeing that aero package they brought, it didn't allow for the leader to just jet out and pull away and clean air made all the work. It didn't. And I know I keep saying this too. They kind of, I think they're kind of using the VHT, the traction compound, too much.
They dialed it back. It seemed like a little bit.
They are,
and it worked this week.
It did work.
It did its purpose.
It did help. Purpose. But I like to see the slide jobs.
I do too.
They were actually able to use some slide jobs, and that VHT, the traction compound, actually helped it work.
Well, the biggest time anybody noticed that Sunday, if y'all watched it, was when Jimmy Johnson went to go up under Clint Boyer.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
It did not
He
work.
come from about 3 to 4 cars back.
Yeah.
Not on the entry of the corner. He was still 3 to 4 cars back on the entry. All of a sudden, in the center, dead center of the corner, it looked like he was running 40 mile an hour faster than Clint Boyer.
He shot out. And I think it's the way you could enter those corners. If you noticed, you could enter you could dead in the bottom going in.
He was on the apron.
And you could exit high. Or a lot of those guys, if you saw Ryan Blaney was doing it really well, he'd enter high and he would apex really late and almost drive straight off the corner on the bottom, like below the apron.
Yeah.
And it just made it for a lot of different lines, a lot of different grooves.
And there was a few times, just like that time with Jimmy Johnson, I saw guys entering on the apron and exiting on the apron. And it was making it fast. I don't think you could make that last for a long run, but they were doing it. I mean,
for whatever reason, that worked. The package worked, the compound worked, whatever. It made for a good race. And old Brad Keselowski won. And speaking of Brad, we all had speculation of him going to the 48 or him leaving Penske in general, because he didn't really have a good. He didn't come across as a good taste.
No.
In the recent weeks anyway, for that team, but he did seal a deal with them.
1 year.
Sure how long.
1 year. And I was listening to some. What did I listen to about it? Might have been Dale Jr. Download. He was talking about it, and he's buddies with Brad to an extent, and he was kind of talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, that's good for Brad." And because I look at it myself, NASCAR sponsors or NASCAR deals, when you look at driver wise, NASCAR deals are big money, especially for somebody like Brad Keselowski. Somebody's got a championship under the belt. That's pretty big money. And I look at it and I'm like, well, why would you want a 1 year deal? And I think there's some more stuff going on that we're not hearing about yet. And because just like stuff with Jimmy Johnson, I'm not convinced yet this set in stone that he's actually leaving this year.
There's a lot of people wanting him to stay.
A lot of people want him to stay just because, and like we said last week, it's almost fair to his fans if he did stick around for one more year to put fans back in the seats, put them back in the garage, be able to, actually tell him goodbye from the sport. I know he's going to be running some part-time junk and Indy cars or whatever else. I don't know what he's going to do, but it makes you almost speculate because he was supposedly the top driver for that, and all of a sudden that left, and then he takes a 1 year deal.
Right.
So it makes you just kind of wonder what's going on there.
Well,
which I've also heard that the 88 may be going away next year. Hendrick going back to a 3-car team.
Right. There's going to be a lot of change, and the longer this COVID deal goes on, the more changing there's going to be. With Bob Levine going out, that team selling off or whatever, selling a charter, whatever, at the end of the year. There's a lot going on, and there's another wonder. You can't sign a driver without a sponsor.
Exactly, not nowadays.
If they can't pin down a sponsor deal but for a year, then they can't pin down a driver but for a year. I mean, there's no way you can sign a contract with a driver for $10 million a year or whatever they're making,
right,
if you don't have sponsors to back it up. So there's a lot of stipulation there. It still could be. It could be that Jimmy's going to stay for a year. They might pull Brad in there. I've also seen where, we've talked about it before, Denny Hamlin hanging out with Jeff Gordon and Rick Hendrick.
And this all falls back to kind of make you question that too. And we like to talk about it because, like we've said, we are a fans podcast. We look at this from a fan's point of view and the way we look at it. And it makes me think, all right, Bob Levine's going away. That's a Toyota team that was going away with Christopher Bell as the driver as of this year. And we know Christopher Bell is technically a Gibbs driver. He might have been running Bob Levine's car this year because they didn't have enough room. All right. So that makes you almost think, all right, I know it either makes you think Eric Jones, his ride's up, because Christopher Bell's going to Joe Gibbs, I think.
Well, they're not going to get rid of. They're not going to take a chance
Toyota's
of
not
losing.
Toyota's not going to get rid of him.
But at the same time, I mean, who's saying they're going to get rid of Eric Jones?
Exactly. That's what
Eric
I'm saying.
Jones ran just as good in an Xfinity car as Christopher Bell did.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So the only other option there is Denny leaving and going somewhere.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, Kyle's not going to leave. I don't think there's no way in the world.
No, he's got a few years left on his contract.
So, but, and Eric Jones has got a lot of sponsorship. Craftsman and Stanley, whoever it is, are they sponsoring Eric Jones? Or are they sponsoring Joe Gibbs? I don't know.
I don't know either.
You know, that's something that we don't know.
Because you also see them sponsoring Haley Deegan down in ARCA Series.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
so, you really don't know. You really don't.
No, you don't.
There's a lot of what ifs. I know that FedEx sponsors Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
I do know that. And wherever Denny Hamlin goes, FedEx is going.
And Hendrick needs some sponsorship.
So, I mean, Denny Hamlin could easily be going to a Hendrick car. I could see that.
I hope not. But yeah, I can see that.
I could see that. But I don't know. At the same time, he's winning every daggone week in Joe Gibbs' car. So would Joe Gibbs take a chance of losing him? You know, it's hard to say. Who really knows?
But it's the fun part of the season for us. When there's not political stuff going on around it, and we can just talk about little stuff like this. Where's this driver going to end up? It is, you know, drivers try to keep it all secretive and stuff nowadays. It used to be a lot more open than it is now. They got all hush-hush. But it's fun for the fans. It's fun for us to sit back and speculate where and why they're going here. And I like it. I don't know.
I do too. I really do. And, you know, I'd like to see Jimmy, in my opinion, I'd like to see him go out in a full regular year because his legacy in the Cup Series is, I mean, it's just as good. I mean, 7-time champion. And to go out on a year as crazy as this, to me, is not.
Well, and people are, right. You know, I hear people talk about, oh, he's not running good. It's terrible for him to go out like this, blah, 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 blah. Well, in my opinion, look at it. Look how long Richard Petty ran without winning a race. The last race he won was 1979?
It was a long time.
Because that was the first live NASCAR race on TV. That was last race he won. That was his 200th win. And he ran until 1990, Jeff Gordon's first race. Atlanta 1992, I think it was. So,
well,
I mean,
regardless of a win,
exactly, that's what I'm saying. He don't need the wins for the legacy.
No, he just needs to. Now he just needs to be able to enjoy his last season, and I don't think this is the right way to go out, in my opinion. So, see what happens. I heard that Ally Bank or whatever was going to stay on for another season next year.
Yeah, they're signed for another season.
So it would be perfect, honestly.
Yeah, it would.
In my opinion, it'd be perfect for them both to go out in the same year. FedEx to move to the 48 or whatever. But he's not getting rid of Chase Elliott. Not happening.
No, that's
I really don't think he's getting rid of William Byron.
No, Byron's got a good bit of sponsorship right behind him right now.
Right. So if they get rid of a team, I hate to see Alex Bowman go because he finally got where he should be, I think. So I don't really know what they'll do if they get rid of a car.
If they have to get rid of a car, I think it will be Jimmy's last year. Jimmy's not going to stick there to watch somebody else.
No,
leave.
I don't think he's going to sit there to see the 88 or to see Alex Bowman.
Right.
Be
and if that was to happen, they would put Bowman in the 48.
48.
That would be the one reason I would see. You know, he just say, all right, I'm done with it this year. I don't know. He might just have it in his mind. He don't care what the circumstances are.
Yeah,
he's done. So
he may very well be. Who knows? We'll see what happens. There's a lot of silly season going on. There's 6 races, I think, left before the playoffs start. And Kyle Busch is still winless. We talked about it last week. Having trouble with no qualifying, no practice, the whole deal.
Not only is he winless, he now has a last place finish on the year.
Right. And I think he's only got one stage win.
Yeah.
He cut a tire on the back straightaway. I mean, you can't control that. It's just they are having some bad luck. I hate to see that. I really do for them guys, But there again, if he can sneak his way into the playoff, he may be just fine. Who knows?
Oh yeah. Well, but as of right now, he's solid in there.
He's in there I can't remember. It's 80, 90 points. I don't remember. But he's in there a good bit. But old Matt DiBenedetto, he has been clicking away. Well, he's had some bad luck here recently from what I've seen. But he has been running top 5, 6, 7 every week.
He's top 10 in them to death. I mean, definitely.
So, he had. I think he had
in some top 5s in there.
I think he finished 6th or something like that this past week.
Yeah.
So he keep on. He's going to be in easily. Jimmy's out right now, I think, which whatever. But so we'll see what happens. Getting to the end of the regular season, as they call it, or whatever. It's going to make it interesting for to start the playoffs, but.
Speaking of one more little silly season thing, this was kind of big news and drags a lot of elements into it. Me and Sterling was talking about a little bit before the show here. Bubba Wallace, with all that's been going on with him, they now have offered him, he's in a contract year, they've offered him a portion of ownership. I don't know how many percent or whatever like that. But they've offered him a portion of ownership to stay at Rich Petty Motorsports. He also has been named the top candidate right now to go take over the 42 car. That's a big decision he got to make there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just sponsor driven.
That's exactly what it is. It's completely sponsor driven.
I'm not taking away, all of the political crap going out of it. Like we said, we don't want to kind of bring that in there. But taking all that out, before this year started, I really do think that Bubba Wallace has a good talent. I think he is good at driving a race car.
Yeah.
It's hard to see that, and we've said that before. It's hard to see that in an underfunded team. And I've seen him run. I've seen him run top 15 a lot. And he gets, I think, they kick themselves in the foot a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
Because they take chances, and those chances don't work out for them. But go ahead.
Well, what bothers me with it as far as, I don't know. Obviously, this decision is not performance-based right now, because he hasn't put up numbers in the last couple of years.
No, it's sponsor-based.
It's completely sponsor-based. Oh, yeah. But my problem is with it is, all right, you say underfunded team. Okay, yeah. Let's say, and I know we talked about it before, Hendrick or Gibbs or somebody like that. They're getting about $30 million a year from numbers that we've heard. A year per car. All right. Rich Petty Motorsports is probably operating on basically about a third of that. So probably about $10 million a year on that car. All right. This is my problem where that comes in. And you're offering him ownership and you're offering him big sponsors. Corey LaJoie is operating on about half, if not less, than Richard Petty Motorsports is operating on per year. Yet he's having better finishes almost weekly than Bubba Wallace.
Well, and that's going back what I say. In my opinion, they are. Corey LaJoie's team is running consistent. They're running conservative. Bubba Wallace, I don't know if it's his team or if it's Bubba Wallace, but he takes a lot of chances. And those chances bite him in the butt a lot. Where Corey LaJoie, those chances that those other teams take, Corey LaJoie pays off from. And he ends up finishing.
He's had a lot of top 15s this year.
Right. And that helps.
Is about 10 spots better than they even expect to run. And when you do 10 spots better than you think your car is already, that's pretty big.
Oh, that's huge, and that helps them out tremendously. It really does. But, I don't know. Going back to Bubba, I think Bubba's talent is there. I think he's good. I think he needs to maybe try to get the best of what the car is able to give him.
Get the most out of the car. Don't get more than the car.
Because when you try to get more than what the car will give you, you're going to get less than what the car was worth.
Yep.
And that's his problem, I think. No matter if he goes to 42. Because that 42 is not going to run top 5 every week.
Well, that 42 is sucking this year. I don't know.
Kurt Busch is not running. I mean,
no.
That whole team in general just fell off a little bit.
I know Matt Kenseth was off a year, but Matt Kenseth still knows how to drive a race car.
Well, they do. But
that's only going to spun out by himself almost every week.
Yeah, they've had a tough time. And it's hard to compare this year because there's no practice. And no matter what, well, you can see clearly, plain as day, you can see that the teams that have the chassis dyno capability and the technology that they do. Stuart Haas
rigs, the simulation stuff was huge right now.
Right, but Stuart Haas and Joe Gibbs, they have the chassis dyno setups where they can set those cars up exact for their lead the race shop.
Oh yeah. I don't know. But even let's say Stuart Haas, what I don't understand about that organization is Kevin Harvick go out there, run up front the majority of the day. Clint Boyer,
he's always been there.
Eric Almirola,
He's running pretty good recently.
He's decent, but he's not putting up Harvick numbers.
He's never been. He never has.
Never will, I don't think.
No, he won't. He's not Kevin Harvick by no means.
And I don't know that. I guess Harvick's just. I mean, I ain't taking nothing away from him, but obviously Harvick's just that much better of a driver.
Well, that's what it goes back. Look at Denny Hamlin.
Exactly.
That's the best performing Joe Gibbs car right now. Kevin Harvick's the best performing Haas car. Now, he has been.
Yeah.
Previous years, of course, but Cole Custer performing better than Almirola.
Yeah.
And Boyer pretty much ever since there's no practice stuff. And that's hard to judge. I don't care how well you computerly, whatever you call that, set a car up. It don't help until you put the driver in the seat and drive the car.
I know Kyle Busch going to keep on. He's going to have a new crew chief soon.
Well, see, that's what's so screwed up, dude, is, okay, like we said last week, Kyle Busch is very dependent on practice. He's very dependent on practice. Me, I would like practice. I'd like to be able to shake my car down. I'd like to know what it feels like. I'd like to know what I got before I get in, because he's a driver, and kind of like Derek said before, you got a steering wheel holder and you got a driver, a racer. And I don't know. I mean, what the computer says you need versus what the driver says you need is a lot different in some cases, I guess. But it can be done because Kevin Harvick's doing it weekly. Denny Hamlin's doing it every week. I mean, he's running top 3 or 4 every week.
Yep.
Brad Keselowski's doing it. I mean, so I don't know. It's one of them things. I guess we'll just have to wait till next year to see, because we'll be in the same car. Hopefully, we'll have practice again. I think they will limit practice because they've seen what they can do without it.
There's going to be a lot more one-day shows.
And I'm not mad at that. I like one-day shows. I love it. I love the fact that you can come there and you can have an hour of practice and you can have qualifying, you can race.
Yeah, fan pay one price, one ticket, see all of it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think the drivers like that. I think they can have Tuesday night shows, Wednesday night, Thursday night, whatever. Make that happen for sure. But you got to have some sort of practice, I think, to be able to shake them cars down.
Well, just like Kyle Busch the other day, I think that problem who knows what they cut it on? Ain't nobody said what they cut it on. They might have cut it on something on track. They might have cut it on the fender. Might have had a rub.
There's anything could have had. It might have had too much camera in the car. Whatever.
Exactly. But that would have been found in practice. 15, 20 minutes of practice.
Oh,
at
yeah.
least.
Kyle would have felt something going on in the right front. He would have. They would have been able to correct that.
Exactly.
So
I look at practice almost more from a safety aspect.
Well, yeah, definitely. But, just simple shake the car down. I mean, like you said, get 20, 25 laps at a short track.
Yeah.
That is plenty of time to know if you're going to have some catastrophe go on. And as much as the regular season and the postseason, whatever, but as much as it is important as it is now, that's kind of important to have that little bit of time.
Very important
to do that.
But speaking, two of them we just spoke of. How about I don't know if you saw it, but the penalties that came out. Bubba Wallace, his crew chief, is suspended. I don't know how long, but and also Corey LaJoyce. Yeah. And I heard they said it was improper ballast weight mounting is all they put it out because they don't put specifics on NASCAR penalties anymore, which I hate. That is one thing I absolutely hate. I don't know why they don't. I think they should. I guess they don't want it out there so other people start trying to repeat, do stuff like that. But I hate it. I think you should call them out on whatever they did. You did something wrong. If some height is too low, call them out. Anyway, what was said around the garage, I heard. This was interesting, and I bet you it's been doing it in a lot of other cars, but some people got wind of it. They said when they went through went over the scales with the car, I guess they're able to, they've always taken and just thrown a helmet back, if they got helmet or whatever, because they have to take the helmet with them. They got to take, and they get a weight certified to sit in the seat at the beginning of the year. They get it certified for driver's weight and put it in the seat so the driver don't have to go sit in the car. Well, they've also always just kind of, when they have the helmet in there, they got it sitting in there with a helmet bag. Because the helmet bag, don't weigh nothing really. Well, there was two cars, Bubba Wallace and Corey LaJoy's car. Supposedly, they had weight sitting in the helmet bag with the helmet.
That's smart. Hey, they went for it.
They've probably been doing it for years.
Probably have. Well, see, and it's really neat to hear different ways of cheating nowadays.
Innovation. That's what we're going to call it. Innovation.
I mean, they do so many because, I promise you, Denny Hamlin, he is not running up front every week without cheating of some sort.
Oh, no. If you pick over every car out there with a fine tooth comb, you're going to find something.
You're going to find something.
If you want to do it. That reminds me of back when I was racing go-karts, a good buddy of mine. I ain't even going to call him out now, and I ain't trying to give none of you wannabe big guys no ideas, but Chad at the time, he liked to run.
I ain't going to say no names.
I know. But him, good. Chad at the time.
that was slick there.
He liked to run the super heavy class. Well, his problem was run super heavy in go-karts was driver had to weigh 200 pounds. Well, I guess it depended on what he ate that day. He would weigh some days about 202. There were some days he weighed about 196, 197-ish. So when you come across the scales in super heavy, first you pull the go-kart up on there, weigh it. You get out the go-kart, push the go-kart off scales, and you stand on the scales. And like I said, driver has to weigh 200 pounds. Well, he had someone, a seamstress, make him or sew him up a pair of jeans that he had lead all around the waistband, down the inseams of it. There was lead. There was about 5-6 pounds of lead sewed into these jeans, so he could wear them in the race.
Hey, do what you got to do, bro.
Do what you got to do. Innovation.
That's what it is.
Innovation.
That's what it is. Exactly right. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot to go on. Speaking of Stuart Haas, Chase Briscoe, he's a possibility to come up. He's been in Xfinity for a while, so he's running well. So he may be one to come up. Who knows? I don't think they want to take a chance of losing him.
No, Ford ain't going to lose him.
At the same time, we got old Kyle Larson, and he has something in the news that they interviewed him and asked him about. And he, like I said, I think we talked about it last week. He said if he had the opportunity to go back to NASCAR in general, he would love that opportunity.
Right.
So that's out there.
Clint Boyer's ride's up, and he ain't signed nothing yet.
So like we said last week, it kind of goes back to what he really wants. And if he really wants to go back to NASCAR, I think that option is going to be there. Where it's going to be, I don't know. I say if anywhere, it'd be Stewart Haas. But I mean, he's going to run out of cars.
That's what it seems like, and I don't know. There's a lot of seats to fill with losing seats,
right?
Because I don't think, and I know Richard Petty even said the other day, they asked him about it. It's so funny because, he's got his name on it as Richard Petty Motorsports. They talked to him. He's not an owner of the team.
No.
He's the face of the team. He's not an owner of the team. But, yes, whatever. But he told him straight out. He's kind of old school about it. He said they were talking to Bubba. He said they had a couple more people. He said one of them was a pretty big star in NASCAR that they were talking to for that ride. So, I don't know. I thought about that, and I was like, well, I mean, I might could see Clint Boyer over there or something because, I don't know. They want somebody in there, I know, to try to give them a good shakedown of the car.
Well, I think, my opinion, if Clint loses his ride with Stewart Haas, I think Clint's going to Fox. I don't see him going to another start, but I could be wrong.
I agree, but he said he wanted to race.
Oh, I know.
Well, he said the other week he wanted to race. I don't know.
Who
I like
knows?
Clint. I like Clint, and he can put a car up front when it's good. He I don't know. He struggles if the car's off a little bit. That's when he struggles.
Well, it's like Clint runs wonderfully for half the race.
Yeah, they can't finish one out.
And then they can never finish. But I like Clint too. I like his personality. He's good. I think that's why he'd be good on Fox full time. But we'll see what happens. There's a lot to go on. There's a lot of silly season to come for sure. But
a lot of things falling into place, and eventually we might get next year's schedule.
I don't know what's going to be.
I'm going to tell you, that is tough. That's another thing that's tough for these teams right now, not having a schedule out. They try to sell. Now, used to, as you sold the season to a sponsor, now it's you sell races to a sponsor.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And because they want it in certain markets now. And
right.
They don't have a clue where they're going, when they're going, nothing.
No. And it screwed them up. Just like this year, Kyle Busch was supposed to run an Xfinity car at Watkins Glen. Well, they can't run Watkins Glen this year, so they're moving that race to run the road course in Daytona. And that sponsor does not want to sponsor the car in Daytona. So there's a lot of iffy things going on. This, like we said before, this whole sport is sponsor driven. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of things a lot of unknowns right now. But going back to Kyle Larson a little bit.
I'll tell you what. Let's before we get into the dirt side of things and Kyle Larson and all that stuff, let's talk about our sponsor who also is with Kyle Larson. They are patched right on his sleeve there. SRI Performance.
Tell you what, man, they got some good stuff, bro.
As we say every week, they got good stuff.
They got good stuff.
You know why that is? Because they have everything. They got all the good stuff. They got every good stuff you will ever need. They got a message from them here. Like we said last week, they got these helmet blowers out there bringing out themselves with filters, a whole helmet blower assembly. All you got to do is hook a hose up to it, hook it to your helmet. It's ready to go. And in these hot months that we got right now, especially, it's all over the country. I was going to say down here in the South, but apparently it's all over the country. It's everywhere. It's just hot. That's what it is. Dog days of summer.
It's hot.
Hot. And you need a helmet blower. You need one. I don't care what you're driving. You need a helmet blower because if not, it gets too hot.
Well, you ain't be able to think straight. You ain't be able to keep it.
Straight.
You ain't be able to hold your line. You ain't be able to do nothing.
Nothing at all.
Gotta have help on.
So you need one. Get you one. Go on www.sriperformance.com and get you a helmet blower there. And on top of that, I mean, what else they got there? They got a little bit of everything. I mean, dude, like we talked about last week with Stock Car Steel, they're pro moly tubing.
They got it all. Like we've said before, people think Stock Car Steel is nothing but racing. It's not. It is not. You can go in there and get structural steel. You can go get whatever you need to build. If you want to build deer stands, guess what? Call them up.
You'll have the nicest deer stands ever.
Telling you what, it'd be some bad, fast deer stands. But no, just go check them out, man. Go look, see what all they got. Before you try to go on, there's a lot of different places you can go find steel. They got good prices there. They got good deliveries. Check them out for sure. From what I understand, SRI finished up their new addition to their shop, right?
Yeah, definitely so. SRI has finished up the shop for the most part. They're still fine-tuning things, but they finished up everything and now have combined SRI Supplies and SRI Performance under one roof. So not only can you go build your race car, if you got a race shop that, has public interest and people come in there, and with all the crazy stuff right now, SRI Supplies has all your PPE needs for all this COVID crazy stuff going on. They got masks, they got gloves, they got all
sneeze shields, 2.0s.
Well, that Stock Car Steel has sneeze shields.
With them too.
They're fabbing them.
You can probably buy them.
I imagine they can hook you up with one over there.
I guarantee you, they get you.
So, but everything, office supplies. I mean, it's Walmart race car style.
It's wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. Go check them out.
Check them out. Like I said last week, also SRI Indy has a new website, so y'all check them out if you're in the what they call that area, the Midwest area. Yeah, Midwest. I couldn't think of it. Oh, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
If you're in the Midwest area, you need parts. Check out www.sri-indy.com. Also, guys, if you go on websites, go on SRI Performance. Remember, we still have our 10% off code. That is our code, our promo code. You type it in at time of purchase, CBONE10. That is C as in
chicken.
BONE 10. CBONE10. Type it in, get you 10% off. And check it. Check them out. Check out everything they got. They got anything from I don't know, from engine blocks to yo-yos. Got it all.
It's pretty big. It's a pretty big span there.
I don't think you can get any farther apart.
No.
And they got everything in between. So y'all go check them out. Check out all your Draco spring needs over at SRI. They can build any spring you need for any application. I'm pretty sure they got ballpoint pin springs on up to stock cars springs.
Monster truck
springs. Yeah, they got them on there. I know they got four-wheeler. They got ATV springs. They got UTV. I'm picking about the ballpoint pen things, but I'm on.
They might have them too. I don't know. You don't ever know.
But
go check them out.
Y'all guys go check them out. Tell them we sent you. Tell them the boys over here at Chicken Bone Alley got you over there and going to use their promo code. That is CBONE10. So y'all check them out. Well, back to Larson.
Well, what I was going to say was, he been winning every daggum thing. We talked about it last week, but he started back running. I think he ran Thursday night, Friday night, somewhere along in there.
Every night, I don't know.
I don't even know, but he won. They went to Knoxville. He won. And they went to somewhere in South Dakota.
Hussett Speedway.
Yeah.
That track hasn't been running a few years now. And the owner of it also owned, I can't even think of it right now, but my bad, can't think of it. He owned another track where the state wouldn't let him run, so he moved it all to there.
That's sweet. Well, I'll tell you what, Kyle was fast again.
Oh, he was super fast.
Ridiculously fast. And he put it in the fence and flipped it.
He was obviously too fast for a track because he really didn't put it in the fence. He just went in sliding in the corner, and all of a sudden it just caught something and
took off.
It looked like a rocket ship.
Yeah. I hate that for him, too, because he was going to have another win, I can guarantee it. But he was okay. He got out of the car. Everything was fine. So they'll get it put back together, and he'll be ready for his next show. I don't know when it's going to be or whatever, but anyway, he's still winning, man.
Still winning. Also, I know, check on, I think it started last night. I hadn't watched much of it. Pennsylvania Midget Week is this week.
Sweet.
I haven't looked to see if he's running any of that.
I'm sure he will. He'll probably win.
He'll probably pop in there and win something.
Yeah, he'll show up and win. Yeah, he will. I know, I'm not sure where, but I know the World of Outlaw Super Late Models ran last night, and Jimmy Owens dominated. I did see that.
The World of Outlaw show? Yeah, World of Outlaw show or that Lucas show?
I think it was World of Outlaws.
Okay, cool.
Jimmy Owens showed up and won everything. Brandon Shepherd was there. He did not perform very well from what I can see. I think he qualified like 12th or something. He was better a good bit, but Bloomquist didn't do much from what I saw. So
he hadn't all year.
No, so I hate that. But like we said before, Jimmy Owens dominated. That's normal. It's not a surprise.
Draco Springs.
You gotta have them.
Purple Springs.
Got to have them.
It's just like the brand says, forward bite. Every racer wants it.
Every racer. Go get you a shirt too while you had it.
Go get you a shirt. And check out them guys at Forward Bite. They're marking on it. Very cool. But anyway, Jimmy Owens can rock it off a corner. I don't know what it is. If that track slicks off, that's the thing. If the track slicks off, he's stupid fast off the corners.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. They're putting screws in the tires or something. I don't know what they're doing, but
I don't know what
they're rolling. But anyway, so that was pretty neat. We'll keep checking on them. Keep watching Flow Racing TV. They got stuff all the time on there. Keep a good eye out for that. What's going on there? But Speed 51 covered the what was the name of the race?
Something Auto Group.
Whatever it was.
250.
Anyway, it was 250 lapper.
My bad. I ain't got it in front of me.
Yeah, it was up there in Ty Majeski's hometown, home track, whatever.
Yeah.
And I see why, because he was just ridiculously fast.
Well, he was ridiculously fast, but what's funny about that is he had tried to win at this track forever and has never won this race. Never. Until last year. He won it. Well, he come back. They obviously figured something out at that race.
It's ridiculous.
He sat on pole. Well, I say he sat on pole. He had fast time. The ARCA, what do they call that? The ARCA, oh, God. I just lost it. Anyway.
It's ARCA something.
Yeah, everything's ARCA this year. The ARCA Midwest Tour. That's what it is. ARCA Midwest Tour. My bad. He said they have an invert. And I guess they draw for invert. Anyway, he ended up starting 13th. That's a big invert.
Yeah, but it's like a whole
It's a real
invert.
big. Most of them is like top 5s, top 6, something around in there. His full start is 13th. But in 45 laps, he was in the lead and check it out.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. And Kyle Busch was in this race.
Yeah.
Johnny Sauter was in this race. Bubba Pollard.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of big names in it. But that didn't faze him a bit. He was rolling.
And I think they say he went in pit lap 170, around 170, got 4 tires, kept on rolling.
Yeah.
And he just freaking fast. I mean,
yeah, he's ridiculous. He's very good in that Super Late model for sure. Glad to see him get the win.
See what he does down at the I always look for him at the Snowball every year. I know I still a ways away, but it's so funny because like last year he was leading.
Oh yeah, got took out.
Led the majority of the race and got took out there at the end. And so it's pretty cool to see those big races. With $10,000 he won last night, super late model.
Yeah, I know there's a big race coming up in. I want to say it's somewhere in Florida. Of his New Smyrna, it might be New Smyrna this coming week after Michigan, because I think Kyle's going to run that race. So kind of wondering if Ty going to run that too. He may, but be on the lookout for that. But I did see where Kyle Busch is going to run that race. So he's got a little super late model fever right now. So he's going to go try to run it.
Apparently so, which he ain't run one since I think they said February.
Yeah.
That was it. So the National, wasn't it?
I believe. Yep.
And so that it's fun to watch him with a super late model, because I'm gonna tell you, he used to go dominate super late model races. Kyle did, and the past couple of years, these boys have stepped up.
They have. They really have. I think that's something, and Derek can tell us. I think that's something that you got to stay on top of right now, because technology is growing so fast. But
yeah,
he'll be good to go. I'm sure he'll run well in New Smyrna for sure. But I'd love to see Derek go down there and run against him, and we know he can run New Smyrna well. So, I'd like to see him go whoop up on him a little bit.
That would be nice. That'd be real nice. But he's gonna run up to Jennerstown this weekend. So I don't know. Anyway, what else we got? We got anything else?
Yeah, that's about it. We got Michigan in the Cup Series and all that this week, so we'll check them out. Like I say, our good buddy Derek is going to be running Jennerstown, so we'll be rooting him on. I'll go check him out, see what he can do.
I don't know. I hadn't seen where they're
covering
streaming it or anything, but if
sure.
they do, I'll look it up for sure. And if they do, we'll put it on our social medias and stuff, and we might stream it and watch it ourselves and see how he does, and hopefully he'll go up there and knock him out another W. Yeah,
we hope so for sure. We're pulling for him. So, all your local stuff, I'm sure, check all that out.
A lot of local stuff right now is pretty much shut down. I think there's some go-kart races about to come back up. It's so hot around here this time of year.
It's hard for us to do anything around here, yeah.
We kind of slow down. So, Myrtle Beach ran this past weekend. I want to say that was their last race they were running.
Yeah, I think that was it. That was the last one. So I don't know how it turned out.
Rained on them. So it rained. They had to come back and end up running some Sunday. And
I'm pretty sure I saw a flyer for it. I'm pretty sure Florence Motor Speedway, new ownership. Now, they've been doing some work. They've been I know they've been doing a lot of updates and upgrades and whatever over there. But I'm pretty sure that their first race is September the 4th.
Labor Day weekend. Yep. That's Saturday.
So, definitely, all y'all guys around us, y'all be ready to go check that out. Let's show them some love. Let's get some fans in the stands. Let's get a good crowd over there. Let's try to keep that growing as much as we can, because the more fans we get over there, the bigger shows we're gonna get. The bigger series we're gonna get over there. So definitely go root them on and see what happens.
Yeah, and from what I see, they're going to keep it a racing complex. They're going to keep running the big track. They're going to try to start back running the go-kart track over there, and they're going to try to run the mud bog. So,
yep, from
everything I saw. So y'all go support them as much as you can, because when you support one track, it helps us all. I mean, it helps the whole thing. And also, speaking of supporting tracks, check out Checkered.
Yes, sir.
That is the race hub. Y'all go look on it. It is a free app now. There is a premium version if you want to get all the Checkered TV and everything, which is going to be coming out shortly. It's still in the new phases. I mean, so get on it before anybody else says they get on it. Get in there, check out all the content. It's super cool app. It is social media for racing only. And you don't, like I said, every time you don't go in there and see Aunt Becky's new grandbaby that just was born and stuff. Not there's anything wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's anything wrong with that.
No, there's anything wrong with that. But we on there wanting to see racing. So that's what's on there. And so y'all go check it out. Check out Checkered. Like I said, again, check out SRI Performance.
Yeah, check out SRI. Draco Springs, Forward Bite.
Stock Car Steel.
Check them all out.
Tell them we sent you.
Give them some love. Buy you a t-shirt.
Yeah, definitely buy a t-shirt.
A hat or something.
Neck gaiters right now.
Yeah, get you some of them.
Yeah.
Got to cover your mouth up.
I got a cool one because I saw it on Checkered from Rico Abreu.
That is a cool one. Neck gator.
It's pretty cool. Y'all go check out Rico Abreu Racing and check out his neck gators. He's got some cool ones.
I'll buy you one. He's got hats. He's got all kinds of stuff over there.
Yeah, he got mullet hats and everything else.
Yes,
he's got merchandise on the lock right now.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, well, I think we are done. Y'all have a good week, and we will be back next week, same time, same place. I guess we're out.
Later.